Good morning, guys. It's another beautiful day here in the city of Nairobi. We are going down to another section that many people maybe don't go, that is KIBERA, and we're going to be exploring that part of Nairobi. Most of you know KIBERA, especially those residents who are in Nairobi. So yeah, as I told you guys earlier, we are in KIBERA.
So guys, welcome. To accommodate the growing population. That is why today the land is scarce. So the small space that we have here is for anyone. Anyone can gather here like what she's doing, washing the clothes, and then they put the clothes on the clothesline. Okay? Right. Because maybe to the interiors there are no spaces. And then that reservoir that you see is a water tank. Okay. So that is where normally we collect the water from. So how does the water get to the tank? Normally we do have some underground piping, like the green stuff that you're seeing over there, running through to fill the tank with the water.
Where does the water come from?
From the local government of Kenya.
Okay.
Yes.
So they give it for free?
No, there is nothing free. There is nothing free. In fact, even we have got water cartels. So
water cartels?
Yes, so the more money, the more money you give it to them, the more water you get.
The more water you get.
So these cartels, actually, they're also the government officials.
Right.
So during the day, probably, they are the government officials. But in the evening, when the sun is almost like setting, there are other things, the cartels.
They're the cartels.
So normally, we collect water from here, and this water is for everything, domestic consumption, washing, drinking, and different stuff. Okay? So normally I do the trips in KIBERA here, and my excursion is not like the normal touristic thing. This is an empowerment to bring to you what the locals are doing and the kind of initiative that they are doing, basically to turn things around. The positivity and the energy, the resilience of the people.
Exactly what I was saying. That's exactly what I was telling you guys this morning, right?
Yeah, that's what we were talking
that's
about.
What I was talking about last night too.
Okay.
You know, it's not to bring negative connotation, but to bring positive vibe.
Yeah.
How the people live.
So before we go, maybe you can introduce yourself and also give us a little bit history of KIBERA.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do that in the house. So once we reach in my home, I'll be able to officially
take
you through the history of KIBERA and share a little bit of some info.
That sounds good.
Yeah. So we are walking that path to my facility, to my home, where I was born, raised, and where I live with my family.
It's still and, there, the place you're
Yes,
going.
Yes. And normally when it rains, it's crazy. And this is the reality that we normally go through.
All right.
So let's walk this way.
Hey brother, let me can I put the mic on you?
So guys, as you have heard, this is KIBERA, and we are about to proceed with the journey so that we can be able to get and understand how life is in KIBERA, how people live in KIBERA. So for most of you who don't know, like, KIBERA is one of the biggest slums in Kenya, in Africa, and it has a population of around maybe 2 million at most. And
the households typically made from clay, and then some are cemented.
Let's listen to it.
So that at least the walls are there, the roofing is not blown away.
So this is how people live, man. Ooh. We're gonna be going to his house. Yeah, Moses' house. Wanna see how? Yeah. So these are like wires that they use to air their clothes after they do the laundry. Like you can see down here. You see? Greg. Yeah, that's Greg. So Greg, I was saying, these are wires that they for hanging clothes after they do the laundry. Yeah.
Okay. So we're entering Moses' house now.
Yeah, we're going to Moses' house.
Place, man. Look at this. You got a comfortable couch here. Right. You got a sofa and a couch.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, this guy is a bookwormer. The Atomic Habits, the first thing that you meet when you get in the house.
So guys, welcome.
Thank you so much.
Welcome to my home. I call it home because right inside here, this is where I was born. Maybe I could be in the street, but I'm lucky I have a place to call home. And right inside here, this is where I used to live with both parents, with mom and my dad. Really? Then when I was about 6 years old, I lost my dad. So all along I've been living here with my mom until the year 2014. That is when she had to go back in Mombasa. That's our rural home. So now before she retired from her work, she was given these coaches by her employer. So this facility is supposed to be 4 by 4 meters. So talk about 16 meters squared. And then we ready to petition this house into different area. This is the bed. Okay. So I'm married, I have a wife and 2 children. And my wife is currently sick. She's somewhere because she's suffering from the keloid. There is some womb lining. And when you look at this environment, it's not really conducive. It's very much overcrowded and sanitation is not really up to standard.
Right.
So the more she's here, chances are the more she gets more infection. But if she's okay later in the near future, if she gets some treatment, she's going to come back here. So normally when she's here, she and the small child, who happens to be Aaron, who is 2 years old, they sleep here. Then for my elder son Johnson, who is 6 years, sleeps here. So I convert this or turn this to be like a bed for him. Then Moses sleeps here. The
So you
four
got
of
3
us,
sons.
yes, the 4 of us cannot fit there because the bed is small. And that's the wardrobe just over there. That's why I put the clothes. And because most of the time I'm outside, if I need to cook, where is my kitchen? My kitchen is just right at the door here. So this is where I cook. I have some small kitchen stuff for cooking. But normally in my absentia, I share the same with my neighbors who need it most, rather than just putting it idle here. Okay? And then guys, the floor is typically made from dust. I put down the carpet to cap the dust. And then when you look at the walls, it's typically made from mud or clay. So the entire stuff is just a mud facility. That is why you would like to do the covering around for 2 reasons or 3 reasons. 1, to make the house cozy. Then number 2, for privacy reasons. Because behind these walls, there are some homes or households there.
Yes.
So because these walls are
Is
badly
it
worn out,
soundproof?
yes,
Soundproof?
yes.
Alright, that's
Because
good.
the walls are badly worn out, chances are someone is able like to
peep in.
peep in or spy through.
Yeah, okay.
Like the
And the top of the roof is made from the iron sheet. The iron sheet is not in good shape either. That's why again you need to do this covering. So this covering is for 2 reasons. To act as a coolant. If it's hot outside, it's a little bit cool. Then number 2, this is to minimize or prevent raining water from falling down. Because normally when it rains, a lot of water will drain inside here. Very much evident. You can even see on the edges of the curtain there. Okay. And then I have some beautiful quotes here, self-made. That's from somewhere. Basically, this is just to motivate, to inspire, and even just to make me the kind of person that I am today. Because for me,
So which one is your
everything.
favorite quote?
Yes, it's okay.
Everything's your favorite?
Yes, because for me, everything is the mindset.
Right.
So long as the mind is positive, does not matter where you are. Basically, the most important thing is keep pushing, keep walking. Hopefully, at the end of the tunnel, there will be the light.
there is the light. That is it.
Okay.
That was the vibe.
So, guys, this house that you see, I don't own it. I did not build it. This house, or most of the households in KIBERA here, were built by the so-called the Nubians.
The Nubians.
So
What are those?
So,
The Nubians are the descendants of the South Sudanese.
yes,
Who basically are in the border between Kenya and South Sudan.
yes,
Yeah.
that's their home. In fact, before any other person came to KIBERA here, it is perceived they were the first people to have inhabited KIBERA here.
KIBERA.
And they were brought by our colonial master. Kenya was a British colony. So when the British were here during their pre-colonial times, doing their endeavors here, they got lots of resistance from the locals. So now the best thing to do actually for them was to mobilize the so-called Nubians, train their men to be soldiers. And then upon achieving their sectarian objective, the Nubians wanted to go back home in Sudan, but it was impossible. Then they were given this piece of land by the British to live here temporarily.
Yeah.
So for those who had some technical know-how and some resources, they had to use the same to clear down the forest and the bushes, because the word KIBERA is a Nubian word meaning jungle or forest.
Jungle. Yeah.
So the Nubians had to clear down the forest and the bushes to pave way for them to build their structures or their homes, and maybe later on for rental. So it means that as much as I was born here, raised here, I don't own this facility, but this facility is owned by the Nubians. So it means that every month I have to pay the rent. So how much do I have to pay to this extent? To this extent, I have to pay 2,300 Kenyan shillings. So 2,000 is for the rent, 300 is for electricity.
Yes.
Because this house has no ventilation, it has no window. So basically we need this for
We need
domestic
this for
consumption.
domestic consumption.
And during the day it's there, but in the evening it's gone. So it's not really consistent. Okay? The other side of the wall, when you look at that beautiful wall, the occupants or the people who are living there, they pay 3,000 Kenyan shillings because that is semi-permanent and this is temporary. In other words, that is cemented both inside and outside, and this is not. That's the difference.
So this can be breaking down anytime soon.
Anytime
Exactly.
soon.
Exactly.
By the government or by who?
So, as much as we have got the government of the day, but for me, I have issues with the government, especially with the first regime, because we know when any government is in power, their work actually is to work for the interest of the people, you know, to create policies, good governance, and all that.
Right.
So if the infrastructure is okay, then everything can be okay. So otherwise, I would wish maybe when we attained our independence in 1963, when the first regime came into power, they watched the Nubians here and they watched KIBERA growing to this extent. If they had good political will, good governance and visionary leadership, KIBERA could be different today. But because of lack of those, this is the result. You know, KIBERA is like a child. A child is what you feed from the word go. So if you give them the correct information when they're growing up, they will be growing up when they are good children. But if you end up giving wrong information, we know the repercussions. So these are the repercussions.
They end up getting messed up.
Exactly. So now, as much as we pay the Nubians this rent every month, they will knock your door for you to pay. If you don't pay, they're going to pardon you for some time. Normally, sometimes back, they will kick you out. So how would that happen? They will remove the door, go on the top of the roof, uproot the roofing. So if they uproot the roofing, they're exposing. If you have a family, you'll be forced to leave. And now, as much as the Nubians could be owning all these structures, but the land in which they build the facilities is not theirs, because again, on the other hand, they have got no official documentation to substantiate their claims. So the government is as the custodian of the piece of land of this particular area. So if they had good political will and everything, it's easy for them just to come and develop KIBERA. But because they lack such kind of things, and also I understand that some politicians, some of them could be owning some chunks of lands also in KIBERA here.
Yeah.
So if KIBERA develops, chances are they are not going to make money.
Right.
Then number two is for political reasons.
Right.
Some leadership, they don't see KIBERA developing because they have no ideologies, they have no agenda to sell to the people. So they will use whatever the people have around here for them to gain political mileage, to control.
Yeah.
Yes, and because the people are not informed,
Right.
we end up like just having this.
Right.
So guys, like I said, KIBERA is a Nubian word, meaning jungle or forest. When you look at the population of the people living in KIBERA here, you're not able to get the correct figure, but it should be in between 500,000 people to almost
500,000.
yes,
Yeah.
700,000 people who live in KIBERA at now.
Wow.
And these are not my words. This is from the household
That's
counting.
a whole big city.
Yes,
Yeah.
just done recently. So in fact, we are a cosmopolitan area. Here we have got over 47 dialects or tribes.
In this area.
In
Yes.
this area.
So KIBERA is like the face of the country. Then we have also refugees from Burundi, Rwanda, Sudan, Congo, Zaire. They live within our midst. We don't fight, we don't segregate, but we do what we bond so much well together. And then we are a multi-faith society or community. The most populous religion is Christianity. We have got Catholics, Protestant, then we have got Islam. Then we also have some aspect of voodoo or the black magic because of the influence from the West African people moving to Nairobi here, then they influence the local voodoo practice.
You're West African with your voodoo. We West African with our voodoo. We love
And
our
then
voodoo.
my brothers, the economy of the area actually is trade. As we will be walking, you'll be able to see alongside or beside the street people do things. They have shops.
Yep.
So basically, everything that we eat, drink, or wear must come from outside. So within us here, we've got retailers and the wholesalers. They go to the city centers, get these goods in large quantity. They bring them here, subdivide and repack them to small quantities to allow the locals to access. Because when you tell a typical person in KIBERA here to go buy like the 50-kilogram beans of rice, that will be hard for them, bearing in mind whatever they make or whatever they earn. So in a day, they could be able to make either in between $1 or $2 in a day. So that's not enough. So someone has to step up to bridge the gap on their behalf, bring these facilities, also for them to feel comfortable. Okay? Then we also have the casual laborers. These are people who do basically hand-to-mouth jobs. Their job is not consistent. Maybe today it's there, tomorrow it's not there. These people include cooks, nannies, security guards, also some people working on the construction sites. I do understand that they earn in between $50 to almost $100 every month. Then on the other hand, you have got the civil servants. People are employed by the government. They could be teachers, nurses, doctors, or policemen. Name them. Today, when you work for the government, we all know there are so many benefits that you tend to enjoy. Security, mortgage, transportation, entertainment, all this. In our country, Kenya, today, I could be well qualified. I could be having even whatever it takes for me to get a good job, but that's not a guarantee. Today, you get a job because of connection or influence. If I know him and he knows me, I have the job. So with my good qualification, I don't know anyone, sorry.
So what is your qualification?
So I studied development studies.
Development studies.
Yes. And I've also been trying to get some jobs within the government sector, but it's impossible. So I've also been working with some NGOs in KIBERA here. And currently I'm doing these trips. I'm on my excursion actually is online under Airbnb. If you guys know anything about Airbnb,
Yeah,
it's called the KIBERA Empowerment Walking Tour. That's the title of my excursion. Then I also have some skills when it comes to peace management and conflict resolution, like mediation. So today, if people fight, I try to mediate, create a conducive environment for them to speak about what is ailing them. Because today we know if there is war, if there is fighting, we know the repercussions. You know? But it's good to step up and avoid that. Then when I don't do the trips, in most cases, I go to schools in KIBERA also to share the same content with kids. because kids come from different dialects, different tribes, and I'm quite sure if they're also empowered as they go back home, they're able to spread the word.
That is
Okay,
it.
and it's
Yeah.
about sharing.
Yeah.
And then, guys, in terms of security, very important. Roughly here we have got over 6 police posts in KIBERA, which are decentralized to different villages or parts of KIBERA to ensure that there is law and order. So the kind of crime happening today in KIBERA is a normal crime, basically, which could happen elsewhere.
Yeah.
That includes shoplifting. Normally people go to the shops to steal because they're hungry, they have no food. Then number 2, in the evening, no one can be around here, assuming that. Then chances are someone can be able to be tempted to break my facility to steal anything which is electronic. They don't steal these kind of things because it's safe, they'll be caught.
They'll be caught.
Okay? And then we also have pickpocketing. Those are the criminal activities happening today. But many years back, of course, there were organized gangs, militia groups, and some of them had to transform, some of them had to be killed by the community or even by the police, because chances are they are found in the possession of some illegal firearms, which is dangerous.
Okay. So if something were to happen, if we were walking, something were to happen to us, how fast can the police be here?
Very good. To answer your question, well, the police cannot be everywhere at the same time. That's number 1. And then number 2, something good about our community is that here there is a great sense of community. So today, for example, if there is success stories for anyone, if there are challenges again, is for anyone. In other words, in KIBERA here, people know each other by names. So for example, as you'll be moving by, some of the locals will be calling me Mose or Moses. Some will also be coming to greet you guys. So what does it confirm? It confirms that whenever we go about our daily chores, we feel confident, we feel secure.
Right.
So in case if anything bad happens to us, the locals always come at our rescue. Unlike Nairobi, the CBD, if you walk, you are strangers. Almost everyone is strangers there, and you are not able to tell the motive of the other person.
Right.
But in KIBERA here, you are able to tell. So in terms of security-wise, as much as they call it so many names, here it's good.
It's a community there. So
Yes.
It's a community-based.
Exactly.
It's
So if the community were to catch a thief, would they take him to the police or would they do their own?
So mixed reaction, because it's a community. So many things do happen. People here are not informed, unfortunately.
Right.
People are struggling. Harsh economic time at the moment.
Right.
So if they get you stealing, assuming maybe you go to a certain shop, then you steal, the shopkeeper will scream. If he or she screams, the locals will always come at his rescue. And if, for example, they catch you, you're a newcomer in this experience, they will tend to pardon you because you are hungry, you needed the food.
Right.
But if you keep on doing the same thing, then they'll be forced to beat you and even lynch you to death.
Wow.
To some extent, for those actually who are sort of like elite, they will take you to the police station. But in most cases, the locals will take their laws into their hands. And they do this because probably they believe it took a long time, a lot of sweat investment for them to be wherever they are. So within a blink of an eye, they cannot allow someone to destroy them. And then number 2, the assumption is if they take you to the police station, they're going to be bailed. So if you're bailed, you'll be coming out to seek your revenge. So now the best thing to do is to get rid of you so that you're gone completely. As they do that, also they're sending some strong message or warning outside there that if anybody again dares to commit atrocity like so and so, then, sorry, the entire community will lynch you. So people are scared. Okay?
yo.
Yes. Then, in terms of drugs, the kind of drugs that the people use here, basically normal drugs, like weed or the cannabis. Then we have got self-made alcohol. This is made through people's home. When you look at the chemical process, it's not good. Chances are they put so much dangerous chemicals in it.
Right.
There could be some preservatives for preserving dead bodies. Maybe there could also be too much methanol. And we all know too much methanol is not fit for human consumption. You take too much methanol, you go blind, or you have some health issues. Okay? And then politics, crazy. For a long time here in KIBERA, we don't elect leadership because of ideologies. But normally we are always hoodwinked because of our tribal cocoons and the political party affiliations.
Right.
Then because the people are not informed, we go on electing leaders who do not even deserve, you know? Because for me, to be a leader, I don't have to speak the same language as he does. I don't have to go to the same church or same faith as he does. It's about ideologies. If his or ideologies resonates well with me and of that of the posterity, then I have to give him a chance. Because his work is to create policies.
Right.
His work actually is to create the infrastructures
Right.
for us to dwell, you know, to thrive and to do our own stuff by ourselves. Okay?
Right.
So Some of the leadership positions that we do have in KIBERA here, there are as follows. We do have religious leaders, of course. Of course, we also have the village elders. We have the area chief of different villages in KIBERA. We also have the MC or the member of county assembly in KIBERA. Then we do have the member of parliament in KIBERA. So today, if you're 18 years and above in KIBERA, and you have whatever it takes, you're registered, you can just go outside there to elect your leadership.
So you're talking about KIBERA as a whole city.
It's
Talking
a
about
whole
parliament
city of
and
its
everything.
own.
Exactly.
It's a city within the city.
In
This
fact,
is
KIBERA
amazing.
is one of the 17 constituencies found in Nairobi.
In Nairobi.
Okay, so in itself, it has got its own or her own leadership.
Okay, so how do you guys get funding then for those people for the parliament? Is the
Well,
government helping fund those parliament?
So
Pay
we do
them?
have the county government and the national government. Like for example, the overall person responsible for KIBERA is the member of parliament. So he represents the people to the National Assembly. So he goes there to champion the interests and the objectives of the people.
Right.
And then there is the kitty which is given. It is called the Constituency Development Fund. So this fund is to go to this constituency to develop this in terms of infrastructure, health, education. Well, they're trying about it, but they could do much better.
Right.
But most of the time you find that this money, really when you look at the accountability, it does not meet its purpose. It goes to their pockets. And because the people are not informed, we are not able to hold them accountable. Because sometimes they are able to gather the people
Yeah.
so that at least we ask them questions, which is also enshrined in the constitution, because we are the taxpayers. But because the people are not informed, whenever they call for these meetings, the locals do not attend. Therefore, if they don't attend, it means who's going to hold this leadership accountable? No one.
No.
You know, but we have to ask them to give us the breakdown of how the money is used, you know, and then we have to go there in person also to see these projects that they're talking about. Then at the county level, we do have the so-called the MCA, who actually represent the different wards in KIBERA. So KIBERA here, we have got 14 villages, and these 14 villages are further subdivided into 5 administrative wards to make it easy in terms of administrations.
Wow.
Okay, so village number 1 is called Makina village. Then you have got Karanja, Olympic, Ayani, and Fort Jesus. So Karanja, Ayani, Olympic, and Fort Jesus, therefore, these are the best villages of KIBERA. So what does best mean, or how does best look like? Best means the space is big, it's clean, it's huge, good drainage, good apartments or the story building. Maybe if you go there, you can get maybe 1 bedroom facility, 2 bedroom facility. 1 bedroom facility within those areas, chances are you end up like paying almost $150 every month.
Wow.
Then 2 bedroom
That's a lot of
facility,
money.
yes,
money.
2 bedroom facility, you pay $200. So now the people who live there are not like the typical or ordinary people, but rather these are the so-called the rich people of KIBERA, the civil servants.
Right.
And then
The
you've got
elite of
Gatekera,
KIBERA.
Silanga, Soweto East, Soweto West, Line Saba, Kichinjio, Mashimoni, Kambemuru, and Raila village. All these 14 villages you put together, it gives you KIBERA. No address, no street name to tell the differences. So how I'm able to do that? Being born here, raised here, schooled here, and still doing my endeavors here, I do understand my orientation well, and I'm capable of taking you through each village to point to success stories, challenges, and avenues for development. Then, like I told you, the 14 villages have further been divided into 5 administrative wards to make it easy in terms of administration. And they're as follows. So we have got Makina ward. So this ward, we have got our own leadership. He or she is the member of county assembly. In fact, she's a woman, but she's not doing anything. So I think, according to me, she has to go home because she's not serving the people. Okay, so we have got Makina ward, we have got Lindi ward, we have got Lainisaba ward, we have got Kenyatta Golf Course Woodley ward, and then we have got Sarangombe ward. So all these wards, they make up KIBERA, and they have got their own leadership. They also have their own area chiefs. So this area chiefs now links the community to the national government through the help of the village elders and the religious leaders. Okay, then my dear friends, in terms of education wise, we do have 2 types of education, formal and informal. Formal under the government of Kenya. In my growing up in KIBERA, there are only 4 public primary schools in KIBERA. To this extent, there are 4 more. So talk about 8 public primary schools in KIBERA. And also we have got 8 public high schools in KIBERA. So today's kids can just go to these government schools to pursue their education further. And like in my time, I went to study outside from high school because there were no high schools by then. Government
free.
schools, nothing's free.
Nothing's free.
They tell you it's free, but practically when you take your child there,
Yeah.
there is some money you have to pay. Administration fee, maybe maintenance fee, caution money, you know, all those nonsense things.
You remember you're done with it.
Then they're in a very big space. The infrastructure is much better. Teachers are qualified, they give quality education. Problem with the government school is congestion. And by congestion, I'm focusing on ratio. So it could be one teacher roughly attending to almost 100 children.
Wow.
The criteria for a child to go to a government school is first come, first serve.
Yes.
So for example, KIBERA Primary School is targeting 1,000 kids. If they get the number, that's it. So the rest of the kids who cannot go to these government schools, where can they go to? Automatically, alternatively, they go to these informal or private schools in KIBERA.
And
so
that is expensive too.
Yes, it's also expensive. So private schools or informal schools in KIBERA, there are so many, almost even, I think, over 200.
Wow.
And symbolically, they look same as people's homes. You cannot tell the differences unless you see learning taking place. Most of these schools are to the interiors of KIBERA. The interiors of KIBERA, my friend, at this juncture, for example, it's raining. If it's raining, it is not fully accessed. There is a problem with accessibility. Then number two, if there's outbreak of viral diseases, you can imagine the repercussion. Then most of these schools, because they are underfunded or under-resourced, they are not able to hire qualified teachers.
Right.
They go for the low-level teachers who are not qualified.
Right.
The question is, for example, my friend here is calling himself a teacher and is not qualified. What kind of content or information can he be able to give to the child or the children? I relate kids to be like the piece of sponge. This is a piece of sponge. Put it in water to absorb water. Similarly, kids behave that way. Any content you give it to them, it sticks. They absorb it. You know. Right. So if you give them the wrong information, chances are they end up getting the wrong information. I went to school to transform myself. That is the primary reason of going to school. So today, if you go to school, then this education is not able to transform you or that of the community, then it's irrelevant. Because after, as much as everybody probably they want to get the good grades can only be relevant if we try to break it down here to create opportunities even for others. Because at the end of the day, if you rely on the government of the day for employment, really, it's impossible. But by ourselves, we are also able to do it. So long as we are just empowered, we've got whatever it takes, we can just do it. Okay? So if you get it right from the top.
Guys, as you have heard, that was quite an informative chit-chat or introduction about KIBERA and what it entails. So now we are going to walk around the KIBERA slum and see how the life is, get to interact with the people, the locals who live here. And yeah, we are trying to promote and see how people, great minds like our guide here, and what they're trying to do to the community. So vamos, let's go. So
because of the books, chances are you can get wrong information, which could be true and true. But if you have a chance to come and connect, you're able to get the fact impression or the raw information.
Introduce really explain the history to you, but his struggle, his history, and the history of everybody. There's a lot of good information here. It's something really to share about what this is and what this is.
So guys, we are out on the streets. We want to go deep, get to see the community, get to interact with the community, and I guess we're gonna have to see some of the things this community does to elevate their lives. One thing is that you should know is that as Moses said, there is it's almost like an entire population of the country. Remember, there is like the 46 communities that live here, but we'll be able to find like the Luos and the Loyas, are the biggest tribe that live here. And then now you see the Kambas, the Kikuyu, and maybe the Nubians who are still here. Yeah, basically everyone. You can find every tribe here in every people of all Caribas, you know. So let's go. So this is KIBERA, and this is how life is here. So basically, guys, you can be able to see people are just doing like the casual job, like that guy who is pulling the cart, motorbike riders, you know. Oh, there is a mosque here, man. Moses is a famous guy.
Right.
So as you had, like the pioneers, the people who started building this place were the Nubians, and the Nubians mostly practice Islam. I guess that's why there is still a mosque for them to go and worship and practice their religion, you know. So, as you have heard, KIBERA has a lot of information that is hidden, that is not told to the people. You know. That's why you need to indulge yourself, go into the community, immerse yourself to the community and get to learn about all these things, you know. And you need to learn to get someone who is well conversant with the area of the and tell you all these hidden stories, you know, other than just watching or accessing or assessing what is being put out there to the mainstream media, you know. So you have to be very, very vigilant when you are telling stories about a place that you have never visited, you know. So, man, that is a lot of information, man, that maybe I didn't know. So, because this is my first time coming to KIBERA, never been to KIBERA, and a lot of people come to KIBERA, maybe they have this perspective and calling KIBERA names, but with a lot of information that is dwelling in the minds of the locals, you get to see KIBERA in a different angle, in a different eye, you know. So, vamos, let's continue with the journey, you know.
Commercial center, also like a walking path, and also separating the different villages.
Walking path on the train track.
Yes, walking path. At the same time, some 3 meters ahead, you're going to see from higher ground, see how the place
And you say how
looks
often
from
you
there.
pass here?
Twice
Twice a day.
for the commuter. But for the cargo train, it will be anytime.
Oh,
Anytime.
So they are commuting from, they're going to Mombasa all the
Not
way
Mombasa.
to
This
the
is
commuter
the
train.
Uganda Railway.
Uh-huh.
So chances are the cargo train will be going from locally here or maybe to Uganda. Then number 2 from Nairobi to Kisumu. So
Kisumu.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was saying like it's coming from carrying cargoes from Mombasa to Kisumu or maybe to Uganda.
Yes.
Yeah.
But for the commuter, it's just local.
Local, yeah. So guys, as you can be able to see, this is how the houses are built. So this one is the iron sheets. This is how it's built. So, some chickens roaming around here. So this is a railway track.
That direction. Yeah, so for the commuter train, if it comes in the morning, or rather when it comes back in the evening, the first stopover from where I'm standing should be that direction, almost like 400 meters that side.
Okay.
Then this side, on the opposite side, it should be like 150 meters ahead. Then the next stopover should be like almost 500 meters ahead. So it stops completely. Locals come out. For non-locals, the train proceeds. They're not able to jump on the train because they've got security guys there to make sure that all is well. So there is so much order today. Yes. And then commercial chances are the locals will be working here to sell products. Then in the evening, they go back home to be with their families.
so do they have a specific stop that is stopped?
The train?
Yeah.
Yes.
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 And then people know when the
Yes,
train comes.
yes.
Do they know the time the train comes? Or
Of course. So the train normally in the evening it will be coming at around 5:45 daily,
And they never
Monday
miss.
to Friday. They never miss.
And it never
also
fails.
the train has to notify them by making some certain sound or noise.
Yeah.
So the people
By
have to be
hooting,
aware.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is the
Kenya-Uganda Railway.
The Kenya-Uganda Railway.
1902.
Uganda. And it was commissioned and started by the British. So, and most workers who are working as the railway constructions were the Indians. The Indians who were brought from India as railway construction workers. And then after the construction ended, some of them decided to settle in Kenya and also spread out in Kenya and become locals.
A lot of Indians are here.
There are lots of Indians who are living here in Kenya.
There are a lot of Kenyans. So
Yeah, they are Indian Kenyans.
Yeah.
It's the
They're
fact
also
that
part of the
part of the community. It's the fact that their ancestors or their origin is from India. It's connected to back to India. We will see that when we go down to Mombasa. Yep.
So what we heading next now?
so now locally or at international level through this facility.
Yeah. That is the local train.
And that comes every
The
day.
cargo train.
Yeah, so anytime it can
Anytime
come
it
through,
can
it can
come
go
through.
through here.
Yeah.
It'll be nice to see those trains coming passing by.
Yeah. So guys, that is the skyline of KIBERA, but we will be walking and going on a higher ground so that we can be able to see KIBERA at large. Yeah. Yeah, these ones are for sale. Someone is just doing business here. You can come and get whatever you want.
You can actually just see.
Now you can be able to see the skyline. Yeah. Hi. Oof, man. Oh, there is a school here, man. What's the name of this school?
This is how the KIBERA looks from the road point of view. Roughly here there are like 3 villages. So in the middle there,
Some people are doing casual work, man.
so on the other side, right hand side, that village over there, it's called Gatokera village. Then in the middle it's called Kisumundogo. So that's a private school or informal school in the middle here. It's called Youth to the Heart Educational Center. And then the building is not as so many colors. White, maroon, blue, white. You can see it, yeah? So that's private hospital at the same time, private high school built by some NGOs. And then the other side of the road, nothing free. Yeah. There's no
Nothing
parking.
free.
Nothing free in Africa.
Yes.
Nothing
And then
free.
There is the other side where the vehicles are passing. There's the other side. That is called part of Lindi village. So that's
Lindi
called
village?
Lindi.
Lindy.
Yes. Remember I said there are 14 villages.
14
I
villages
also
in
14.
14 villages.
And I also mentioned them by names. Remember?
Yeah, yeah.
So the other side is Lindi village. Then the other side where the trucks of the buses are passing. That's now the boundary of KIBERA. So going those sides, these are the neighborhoods of KIBERA. That's why I said geographically speaking.
So beyond that highway,
Yes,
that's KIBERA.
beyond.
Wow.
So beyond, these are
Very
outskirts.
big. I thought it was just they
Yes.
part of
And
Yeah.
now KIBERA geographically is located centrally in the middle of Nairobi, surrounded by areas like the Education Museum, the Giraffe Center, the Animal Orphanage, all this surrounds KIBERA. Meaning that if you don't have money, you're just able to walk from here to your place of work. You have no money.
Wow.
Yes. So Nairobi, the CBD, should be other direction.
That direction, yeah. So guys, it's
And then vegetation is to prevent mudslide or soil erosion. Or normally when the train goes through, because there's a lot of tilting and shifting of the land. So if there is that and there is no vegetation here, you can imagine the repercussion. So now the roots is to hold the ground firm.
yo,
Then this is government scheme.
Have there been an incident
of landslide.
or landslide?
Many years back. In fact, when I was young. Since then to this extent, minimal. There is nothing at all. Yes, so that's the better part again. Then this is government school. It's called Raila Educational Center. Both primary level and high school level. Also the blue roofing there, the maroon roofing there, the other side. It's Olympic primary and secondary school. The maroon roofing over there. So all this The government schools.
Since you have touched about the Raira Primary School, basically you can explain to him who is Raira. Yeah.
So he's one of the famous people. In fact, to many people here is like they call him father or baba.
Baba.
They see him as the president. As much as we do have the president-elect, but they see him, they perceive him to be the president.
The president of this KIBERA.
Not KIBERA, the entire country.
The entire country.
The locals perceive that he's been winning elections, but they've always been stealing his victory.
So why is that?
Political.
Political.
No, I mean, why do they see him as a president? What is so
Because
symbolic about him?
that's the perception, and they believe that because actually not only in KIBERA here, but even in the entire Kenya, people know him. So as much as he's famous, now people believe that those are votes.
Okay, so is he famous in how like he helping the community? He involved.
He's been
into
championing
civil-
the democracy of the country, Kenya,
Yeah.
and also human rights defender. So sometimes if there is any atrocities done by the government or any other person coming to the country, he's like a whistleblower.
Okay.
So the entire country, the entire community will always know about it.
Yeah.
Then he tackles the bull by its horns, doesn't fear anyone. He speaks his mind, he's always bold, and he's courageous. That's why people just love him,
Yeah.
you know.
Great.
And then so this school was just named after him. It's called Raila Educational Center, but it's a government school. Just maybe to honor him and to remember him, because at this juncture he's getting older.
So he's
And,
from Nairobi, yeah.
No, he is from
No.
the western side of the
Yes.
country.
Yes. But he lives in Nairobi.
He
here.
lives in it.
Yes.
So he has been in the political arena for so many years since the country gained independence. So his father was he was the what's the name
People actually fought for
the democracy of the Republic of
Yes.
Kenya.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was still running as the president, and then the son took the footsteps of the father. So you can be able to tell, like, being in the political arena, being like the watchdog of the government.
and he's been really vocal.
He has been really vocal for the government to do better for the community.
But that's,
So he understands the community well, and he speaks the language which the community want to understand or listen to.
But
He has
that
been an
that
MP.
actually showed me a really good thing about Kenya democracy, because a lot of country, a person like that is a threat. They will want to
Yeah.
assassinate him.
In terms
They will
of
wanna
democracy,
kill
we
him.
are good.
We are good.
As much as people here, they are not really proud of their place, but we are much better
Right.
because we are tolerant and you are able to speak up your volume,
Yeah.
your voice.
Yeah.
So, guys, the train is coming. There is the cargo train which is coming.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
I get.
should be like I heard about it.
You heard about it?
So if it's coming, then you guys will buy me lunch. If it's not coming, I'll buy you lunch.
Is that bet?
You bet. That's a bet.
One thing you should not bet with a local. 'cause
Yeah, no,
he will beat you 10-0.
So we will know by him.
We will love by
If it's coming, it should
Yeah.
be here in a couple of minutes.
The couple.
Yes.
Alright, so we're gonna wait and see.
And
know,
just
see.
and then just
You said
proceed
it's a
by.
cargo train. So
Yeah.
Cargo train.
what type of cargo are they taking?
It could be anything. It could be material for construction. It could be some metal.
Anything.
Could be food
It could be food
And where is it coming from?
from Mombasa.
from Mombasa.
Now maybe it's going to parts of the western part of the country, then to connect to other
Uganda.
countries like Uganda.
Yeah.
So we're standing here, or we
Just here.
just standing.
So guys, this is a cargo train that goes all the way to Uganda or to Kisumu, and then I think the guy knows it, so I think maybe we'll be waiting for it maybe for some minutes here, and then we'll be able to show you how it looks like. But basically, guys, have you ever been wondering, like, what is life in KIBERA, or how life is in KIBERA? You have been having this perception or this perspective, like, people who are in KIBERA maybe are uncivilized or are barbaric, but I'm telling you from the story that I have heard today, man, there are a lot of great minds. There are a lot of people who are persuasive. Their endurance is very, very, very high on another level. So I guess you should not be having this perspective of, like, KIBERA is this, KIBERA is that, some names. Man, come to the ground, associate yourself with the people who have been living here, who have been championing for the welfare of the people who are living here, and get to understand how things work here. Wow.
these stones actually is to absorb the water and just to.
So guys, this is the train coming, man. So that is a
Cargo train.
cargo train.
Yes.
So it's not taking anything.
Anything. It's just having.
Short. Probably they are going to collect something
Uh-huh.
to bring it back, or I don't know.
Okay.
Yes, but sometimes it's always long.
Yeah.
Huge.
That's maybe like the engine,
Yes,
the engine part of the train.
Yes.
Going to get the cargo.
Yeah,
Locomotive.
the locomotive. So,
So yeah,
vamos.
we're heading out now to the next place.
One of the best. It used to be one of the best nationally.
Uh-huh.
Using the top students countrywide.
Olympic Primary School. One of. You said it's one of the best schools.
Used to be, yes, and even to this extent,
Uh-huh.
it does best. It produces top students.
Oh wow.
It's a Catholic
private.
church, no governments.
Government. So this is a Olympic area. Alright.
One of the good areas again.
Uh-huh.
Homes, big street, fancy life.
Uh-huh.
Who are really here and are perceived to be the
The elite now of Kibera.
So those are the people that are making more money than all
Yes.
part of the community.
Yeah.
But the ones that we are moving, yes, they work here, but they don't live, they live within the community.
Oh.
So like we are going to see our women projects.
Alright.
Our women project basically, these are women who are HIV positive. Many years ago, the community came who were scared because of stigma and stereotype. People don't shake hands, hug someone, you know, get sick because of lack of information, literacy and all that. So the women went outside to teach the community about the disease and also how you're able to get it and also how you're able to prevent it. Because everything is the mindset. Today you could be positive, but you get drugs, you can live longer. HIV is just like any other disease. And it's not a guarantee or certificate for you to die. So long as you're positive, you can live a long life. And at the end, we'll all die. So basically, the most important thing is to live your life tomorrow, whatever
Yeah.
today.
To impact a lot of people in the community before you depart.
So these women, they teach, they also provide like free protection, like free condoms to the people, so that people can be for sexual intercourse, to be safe from diseases and maybe around the desert. For women, education, sometimes they sit there, they bring them in and bring the children, give them some free classes in tailoring, in hairdressing, so that the ladies are able to get the skills. You know, if someone has the skill, through the skill, they can work. Through the skill, they're able to improve the standards of living and be able even to do wonders in a community.
Wow.
So they do that free of charge. They don't take any money from these women. And then they are also doing recycling. They collect magazines to recycle, to make stuff that you're wearing like this one, and what is putting on his hand from the magazine. So they do a lot of wonderful things. So immediately we enter. Basically, we will not record there, so that at least maybe they can think, you know, we will just listen to the story, and then maybe they will do the presentation. Once they do the presentation, then later once they are done, you can like ask them, is it possible for us like to do some small picture or some small like, you know, all that. And then they
Different patterns.
It is this one, but different patterns.
Different patterns
Yeah.
So who decide which pattern should be
used.
So yeah, so you would just say, okay, I'm gonna create a pattern for this one.
Yeah, we normally goes to some sites like Facebook, and we meet some patterns, and then we try and we
So
make
it's a
it
new pattern every year or every month?
every year.
Every year, new pattern.
It depends with the customers.
Okay.
If we make a pattern or a design and we see most people they like,
Yes.
it can go even 3 years.
3 years.
Because
Right.
when you make a design and people mostly they buy it,
Yeah.
you give you more effort to continue.
Right. Motivate you to continue that pattern if it's popular.
Yeah.
Makes sense. It's good. Thanks for sharing. Appreciate it.
So guys, from what you have seen, the video you have been able to see, that's the video I have been able to capture from what these power women group they're doing here to elevate their lives and to empower the community. So whenever you find yourself in Kibera, make sure to make your stop at a power women group and support the community to get yourself maybe a band, yeah, and also get a cloth, maybe a fabric, so that you can gift it to maybe yourself or maybe to your family members. So anyway, I guess that is it for today. That's it for the Kibera video. So I want to say my lastly guys, I also want to say to the guide, to our guide, do you want to say anything for your last closing words to the people who are watching, so that maybe they can have that open mind of visiting Kibera?
We just appreciate you guys. We love visitors, and we always love to share our cultures with others, so that basically they're just able to understand how the locals are leading their lives.
Yeah.
So our doors will be quite open, our hands will always be widely stretched
Yeah.
to have you here.
Yeah.
So come visit our community.
Yeah, you're welcome. Come and visit the community, interact with the community, and please come with an open mind and get to learn what this community entails. That is it. Greg, do you want to say anything? What have you learned from this community?
I was saying
that is metalwork fabrication. So
as I was saying, this is it's very captivating because we're doing that meticulous work. And she was very patient about it, not in a rush, just smoothly rolling that paper. A lot of people be in a rush and just roll the paper off.
and then done.
But she has a lot of skills and she has a lot of time to do this.
Yeah.
Taking all that, it's small mini, but every mini counts. So you can do about, you said she was doing like 200?
200 pieces per day.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That work.
It's a lot because you're using your fingers and your fingers can cramp. My finger will cramp pretty much fast.
That's why it's a skill.
It's a skill.
Yeah.
It's a skill that you don't learn right at that moment. It's a skill that you learn over time.
Over time.
And what I really like is just helping young women and women as a whole in the community really uplift themselves and having a skill set that they can use and be part of a community, because if you have that skills, you can be able to sell these things and a living, and which is really good, especially when it comes to women that have the misconception of them in the community.
Yeah, and misconception about how people live here in the So I get right now you're going out there being like, yo, I was in Kenya, went to Kibera, and my perspective about Kibera is totally different. No one can convince me otherwise. Yeah. So that is it. See you on the next episode.
Ciao.
Ciao.